Folks, y'all remember a lady named Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss and a couple others that were involved in supposedly a water leak at the TSA center there in Fulton County where the election was stolen in Georgia? I know a lot of you remember some footage of this stuff of them pulling the suitcases out from underneath the tables. Well, not too long ago, Georgia was forced to admit, the officials there, that they had over 315,000 ballots in the election that were not certified properly. Now, I thought maybe there'd be a follow-up on that. Well, now we have it. They're being raided. Subpoenas, warrants, coming in there with pry bars to get into things. Got a little bit of a story about that as well later on in the video. But let's go ahead and get into it. Fox News has probably got the best take on this so far, I found. And then we'll go through some X clips to give y'all some reminders of the details. Now, let's not forget that they tried to throw Trump and 18 people in jail behind the cover-up of the stolen 2020 election. And now we're asking for the receipts.
At a Fulton County election office in Georgia, where they are conducting a search. David Spunt's got more details for us on this developing story. David?
Hi, Sandra. This is a satellite office for the Fulton County Elections Office. The FBI Atlanta press office confirming this, not giving many details, saying that the FBI is executing a court-authorized law enforcement action. No other details at this time, but we do know via sources a judge signed off on this warrant, allowing these agents, as you see them, enter this building to take items from the inside. Now, we're told that this is a sealed matter before the court, meaning details are now limited. Now, agents are looking at documents, phones, computers. We are told via multiple sources this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Now, we don't know specifically what agents are taking to the FBI lab, items that may eventually become part of a federal case. You may remember President Trump was charged in Fulton County with trying to overturn the 2020 election results. That's Brad Raffensperger right there. He is the Secretary of State of Georgia. That is the Fulton County District Attorney, Fani Willis. Now, Raffensperger spoke to President Trump back in early 2021, and Trump said that he wanted to find some 11,000 votes to help win the election. Raffensperger said that he felt pressure from Trump. Willis then took Donald Trump to trial. That didn't happen. In 2023, she said that her prosecution was all buttoned up, ready to go, but it was completely derailed after it was revealed she had an intimate relationship with the top prosecutor on her team, and it could have tainted the case. Late last year, a judge dismissed the case in its entirety. It's important to point out, Sandra, that a judge typically would not just sign off on a warrant so the FBI could go on what's known as a fishing expedition. It's likely the FBI and DOJ presented some credible evidence to the judge for the judge to go ahead and...
The credible evidence is the 315,000 unaccounted for, unexplainable votes that were injected at the last minute, which now we know through the video footage of the TSA how they were injected, running them through the machine for hours and hours and hours while they supposedly had a water leak and nobody was allowed inside.
And give the green light. No immediate comment from the Justice Department. Again, the FBI confirming this court-authorized search warrant. We are waiting to see if perhaps Director Kash Patel, Attorney General Pam Bondi, or even Secretary Raffensperger, or perhaps Governor Brian Kemp have anything to say. We'll follow it. Sandra?
Okay, David Spunt there in Washington on that for us. Keep us posted. David, thank you. Bill?
Thank you.
Well, Sandra, Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin has a court hearing next week.
All right, folks, we'll go right on into the rest of it. Now, I do have some breaking news about another Somali pirate that has been arrested, another protester, one that's actually kind of famous. She was on TV the other day with a Band-Aid about as big as my hand on her forehead, claiming that she was attacked by ICE. I know you'll remember who I'm talking about when we get there. But first, let's go down memory lane. It says, breaking, the FBI is conducting a raid on Fulton County election headquarters related to the 2020. Now, whether they kept any kind of documents or anything that could prove them incriminating, I don't know, but this video footage right here ought to be enough to incriminate everybody involved. Everybody that refused to question the election after they watched this video are criminals. That's just my opinion, folks, but that's what I have to believe. Remember this?
At about 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to roll this back and show it to you. There you go. So now they're going to start pulling these ballots out from under this table. This table, the black one, was placed there by the lady with the blonde braids at about 8:22 a.m. in the morning. So she put that table there.
This table right here, folks.
So the same person who's staying behind now, the same person who cleared the place out under the pretense that we're going to stop counting, is the person who put the table there at 8:22 in the morning. Yeah, I saw 4 suitcases come out from underneath the table.
Here he goes. Here he goes. Suitcase. Looks
Yeah,
around.
upper right hand, you see the gentleman in the red. So he just pulled one out.
They're all in on it. And they all got paid and awarded medals and everything else to help steal the 2020.
So what are these ballots doing there, separate from all the other ballots? And why are they only counting them whenever the place is cleared out with no witnesses? Is the
Great
question.
Great question.
So these machines can process about 3,000 ballots an hour. You have multiple machines there, and they're there for 2 hours. So you do the math. How many ballots went through those machines in those 2 hours when there was no one there to supervise, to be present, consistent with your statutes and rules, to supervise the tabulation? We believe that could easily be, and probably is certainly, beyond the margin of victory in this race.
11,000, folks. Remember, it was only 11,000 votes that Trump was lost by in several states. It was always 8, 9, 10, 11,000, just enough to get him over the top. Kind of suspicious how it went down that way in all the swing states, don't you think? To me, it's not suspicious at all. It was organized and designed to be swayed in one direction or another. There was no doubt about it. The media was in on it. The government was in on it. The FBI and the CIA, I believe, was in on it. Venezuela was in on it. Here's a picture of Ruby Freeman, if you don't remember. Her and Shay Moss, woman behind her, were given medals of freedom, or I believe it's medals of freedom for their effort in stealing the election. That was a spit in our face after they sued and won a defamation case against a lot of Trump's people. I think it's about $6 million they were awarded. That money needs to be given back. These people need to be thrown in jail. I would like to see these ladies go to prison, to be honest with you folks. Now, Georgia state officials have locked up 200,000 ballots and refused to allow them to be inspected, contrary to multiple court orders. So what has happened is these 315,000 ballots that they were trying to locate, our government is, the feds are, to be able to come up with all the answers to this investigation. Well, it looks like they were being non-cooperative in handing them over or unlocking the boxes. I don't know which, but this was something that is reported on by Cernovich today. I follow Cernovich pretty closely. The guy has never said any drop of information that I've ever seen that was inaccurate, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that he's got the scoop on this. And ALX responded as well. Breaking FBI is currently executing a search warrant relating to the 2020 election in Fulton County election offices as well. So maybe the reason this makes sense, folks, to me. Maybe this confirms what Cernovich is saying, that they were being even maybe they were in the building and having to argue with people. Maybe they were being denied access into steel boxes or safe or rooms. So what you have to bring? Look at here, folks. What's he got in his hand?
We're on site at.
What's he got in his hand?
Fox News is learning FBI agents are on site at a.
See what he's got in his hand right there? That is a pry bar, folks. It is like a fireman's pick. It's got a fork on one end and got the prongs and the forks on the other end as well. He's going in there to break into something to get those ballots out, to get that information out. You may have to go in there and manhandle some people, get this information coughed up, because there's some people in there that are like, hey, do your job. But I'm sure there's some people in there that are crapping their pants right now, knowing that they were part of the crime, and they're now being currently investigated, or will be when the subpoenas start flying after they collect all this physical evidence today. I'm glad to see it. Mainstream media is still trying to play cover up for it. This is Trump trying to distract with his 2020 election claims. No. It ain't that. It's we're going to get to the bottom of this shit one way or another, and a line has been drawn in the sand, and it looks like Georgia is on the hot seat now behind real election exposure, election integrity issue exposure, theft. Now, folks, y'all remember this lady right here with the big Band-Aid on her head? I can't say her name, Siezure or something. She came on TV the other day and said she was assaulted by ICE, just an innocent bystander, a victim. And she started comparing being an American and a Somali to bananas and rice. I don't know what was wrong with this girl, but she was not, didn't seem very smart. Just my opinion. Not that I'm a scholar, but it seemed like she may have been in that 67, 68 IQ range that they're claiming the Somalis maybe accomplished in. Well, they're now calling her like Jesse Smollett, and now after Ilhan Omar has been squirted with somebody's who knows what this morning, and she didn't even stop the show to find out if she was being poisoned or anything of that nature. Kind of a weird thing, kind of off track, but kind of a weird thing. I think these Africans, South Africans, Southeast Africans, where all these people are from, I don't think they are really too keen to how our laws work and how easy it is to catch them in these lies. Now, folks, this lady with the big Band-Aid on her head that said she was assaulted by ICE the other day. Let me show you this right up in the top corner. They've arrested like a dozen people. And one of the people that was arrested today, rounded up behind obstructing ICE from doing their job in Minnesota, of course. It's this lady right here. This is the same lady with no Band-Aid on her head. Just a couple of days later, all healed up, but now in ICE custody for being an agitator. This lady's part of the problem. She's the one that got up there on stage and was crying about this and crying about that. You know how they do. This here is part of the problem. This Somali lady here needs to be sent home. She's a paid agitator, is what I have to believe at this point. She done got on TV and made her little spiel. And the reason she got hurt by ICE the other day in her story, which made no complete garbage, sounded like a lie to me. Now we find out that she's been subsequently arrested since then for the same behavior of being a problem, getting in the way of ICE doing their job. Who's she trying to protect? The immigrants? She trying to attack ICE? Or is she trying to protect her Somali piracy? I don't know which, folks, but I think they got her number now. I think her goose is cooked. I'm just glad to see it. Not saying all the rest of these pink-haired freakos don't deserve it as well. This here's a dude, transgender dude with half pink hair. This guy looks like he was out getting stoned and wandered into the crowd. This looks like somebody's horrible teenager. I can't tell the gender on this one. Won't even try. Looks like somebody's drugged out teenager. Yep. These people look angry. This guy here probably works for one of the militant groups. But yes, folks, these people like to get up in the ICE's faces and spit on them, try to bite their fingers off, try to take their weapons away from them while they wear masks. Well, Pam Bondi has put out the list today of all 9 of these people, who they are, why they got arrested, and it's just a fair warning that everybody that gets caught on film acting a fool to ICE, if not immediately, will be detained behind it, will be arrested, will be search warrant, hunted down, and locked up behind it. Hopefully we can catch them we can give them some real criminal charges. That way they don't get out with a slap on the wrist from all these left-wing wackadoodle judges in the state. But who knows, at least they get locked up for the night at minimum. But we're going to keep an eye out for this Somali lady right here, whatever her name is. This one. We'll be seeing her again, folks. Like, subscribe, and share to Vote Patriots. That's what I got for you today. It is obvious everywhere, all over the mainstream media, that Fulton County has been raided. The left-wing media is going to try to cover for it, but all in all, it's a win because we're getting not just information and evidence, we're getting exposure. The left-wing media is going to be forced to talk about this when people start going to jail, when there's raids, when big action happens, something huge like that happens. They're kind of forced to cover it, even if they spin it. And people are going to start really realizing that if the FBI is raiding you for stealing an election 5 years ago and they can prove it today, you stole it. People with common sense are going to figure that out, hopefully sooner than later. And hopefully everybody will go vote here directly. We'll be voting end of February, early March for the primaries here in Texas. So anybody in your state, if you don't know if you're registered to vote or